What up, though, shawty? We are back with BMF Season 3, Episode 7, Get 'em Home. This was a slow episode to me, and it's usually like that midway through the season. But yeah, it was a little slow. So Meech, we all know that Meech had to go to St. Louis because the GBI is after him in Atlanta because of the lie that Greenie told on him. So he fled. He went to St. Louis. He wanted to get his business and everything going there anyway. So he went to St. Louis. Well, of course, with Meech, trouble follows. So he gets there, and it wasn't his fault, but it just seemed like he's one of those type of people that stuff just follow him. Because he gets there, and he's on the ball field with Jay Pusher, Carter, and Kia, his new love interest, played by Sweetie. So they're on the field, and Jay Pusher sends Carter to go get them some water after they get done. And when Carter goes off, he gets snatched. Now, we all know that he is the one that, the family is riding their, some high hopes on because he's a really, really good pitcher. And they're expecting him to go to the major leagues. So these guys kidnapped him because they know how important he is to their family, and they know that his brother can get his hands on some money. Well, the guys that kidnapped him, they owe another crew or whatever a lot of money, so they're trying to blackmail and get the money, extort the money out of Jay Pusher. He's hot-headed. He wants to go about it the wrong way. And you know how Meech is. Meech has an idea of what can be done. Well, this guy feels like this is my city. You're in my city. We're going to do it my way. Well, of course, Meech went behind his back anyway and got his, the young lady and another guy to help him, and they end up getting Carter back. So that whole thing. But before they got him back, it was crazy because they sent to his parents' house. They cut off, I want to say ended up cutting off two of his fingers. I know they cut off one and sent it to his mother's house. And that got Jay Pusher all upset as well. He was just out of control. And luckily, Meech was there to help sort of, bring that leadership and that thinking tank and, calm down. What can we do to fix this, to change things? But I'm wondering which hand did they cut that finger off? Because he's a pitcher. Like, that was kind of cruel and unusual. Like, wow. This guy is, I guess in that world, it don't matter. They don't care. Anyway, so now we're with T and his crew. They're dealing with the death of Dizzy. Because Henry, you remember last episode, Henry used that flamethrower and she torched Dizzy because she found out that Dizzy was Team T. T also mentioned when he was with his crew that he's pretty much gotten all of Henry's distro guys on his side. So we know that there's going to be trouble in paradise. He met with Blaze again because he's like, yo, we had a deal. You were supposed to talk to your daughter. And she torched my mans. And Blaze was like, I don't agree with all of my daughter's theatrics, but I'm her dad. Right? In other words, I'm going to choose her over you. At the end of the day, I'm her dad. And T told him something very important. And I hope T, can stick to it, and be that leader that we all know that he can be without Meech. And he told him, listen, if you're not willing to be a part of the solution, then in my book, you're part of the problem. So now with that, and you can tell the way he looked, he didn't like the fact that T said that to him. So now T going to have Henry. I already got Bryant to deal with, and now Blaze. Blaze going to be a part of it too. So like I said, this episode was just a build-up episode to get us ready for the last few episodes of this season. Now, to me, this was probably the most out-of-pocket thing of this episode. And like I said last week, I'm so sick of this whole storyline. Lucille, Charles, and Maurice. I'm just over it. But Maurice sends Lucille some flowers at the house her and Charles live in. Now, Maurice, you out of pocket for that. He done sent the lady some flowers at her and her husband's house with her husband, her children. Like, really, Maurice? And poor Charles, if I could say one thing to Charles, it would be this: move on. Charles, it's time to move on. There is no way I would still be there. And I don't blame you, Charles, for opening that car because that came to your house. Lucille can't get mad at you for opening up that. She trying to check him for opening up her car. This my house. Like, really? But, Charles, it's time to just move on. Let her go. Let her go. Because you're right. She going to find out the grass ain't greener. And when she find out, you go on about your life. Because this whole situation is just out of pocket. And then Lucille, we later see her. She's over at LaWanda's. I guess she called herself going over there going to wait for T. Because, T ended up coming over. And they, kind of attacked him for his involvement with Markeisha. All this he going back and forth with Markeisha, right? And he's stupid because Markeisha, we found out how she tried to set him up. She doing all kind of persnickety and out of pocket stuff. Came to see that girl. Like, come on now. And then last week when she was out with him, knowing his girl was due any day, she done turned his phone and page off so nobody couldn't get in touch. It's just a whole lot of, right? But anyway, he gets there and Lucille's there. So his mom's there. She decides to check him because he dealing with Markeisha. And he ought to be ashamed of himself. You and your daddy cut from the same cloth and y'all don't realize what y'all got. And he let her know, and I was so here for it. He let her know, like, oh, just like you and Dr. Maurice. Like, I already know. Nicole told me what you doing with the doctor. So she always trying to point the finger and ain't paying attention to all the fingers that's coming back at her. Like, I don't understand. She's like that with Nikki, too. We later saw her with Charles in the car, smooching and all that with Charles. And Nikki done snuck the little boy in the house, and she in there kissing the little boy. She don't want Nikki to get in trouble. Nikki don't want her to get pregnant and all this. But you not doing the right thing either, lady. So Jen comes and meets Bryant at a bar. So just like I suspected, they're going to continue to work together. She brings Henry's file and let him see Henry's file. They come up with a plan together for Jen to go undercover. Now, Bryant really don't want her to go along because he knows how dangerous Henry can be, right? We already saw Henry, take out some people, right? So we know Henry ain't no joke. She's just not. So Bryant, he wasn't happy when he found out that Jen went on her own and she done went and spent some time with Henry. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God. I'm going to make this prediction. Yeah, Jen going to end up getting got by Henry because Henry has an extremely short fuse. And once she finds out, she going to be the one to go. We know it ain't going to be Bryant. It's going to be Jen. Like, wow. Okay, so Meech had called T to get some products sent, rushed to St. Louis because he knew that he was going to need to, hurry up and get some money so they can get that, Carter back. And, they needed product anyway because he was out there to set up that distro in the area out there. So the runner that was bringing the product to Meech, the axle broke on the truck and he crashed. So, of course, with that, the police came to the scene of the crime and boom, there's the product. Product on the truck, he's busted. I guarantee you Henry had something to do with that. I don't know, but we shall see. But I guarantee you Henry and her crew, they had something to do with that. They got eyes on them. So they had to have had something to do with that. So in the last scene, Meech is talking to Kia and Pusha, and he's letting them know that he's going to be back and forth, because he's got the product, because he had to have his boy bring product from Atlanta because of what happened with the product that was coming from Detroit. So he got them all squared away. They set up. He's letting them know that he's going to be back and forth. He needs somewhere to stay, right? And Pusha told him, listen, you got somewhere to stay for life. Because, they're grateful for what he did about getting their brother back. And as he's talking to them, the phone rings, and it's Duffy from Atlanta. He lets him know, listen, basically, the coast is clear. You can come back to Atlanta because, as we all know, in the true world, Meech did not kill that man Well, he got off. If he did, he got off on it. He didn't get charged for that murder that that he was snitched on about. So, who knows what really happened? They know what really happened. But in the real world, he beat that rap. So in the show, they let him beat it as well. So he's headed back to the A, and that we can continue to conduct his business. But like I said, this was a very, very slow episode, in my opinion. Cannot wait to jump into the last 3 episodes, 8, 9, and 10, see what's coming. Then get into Power, book 2 that's gonna be going away for the show finale. Power book 2 was my favorite. I love Tyreek. But yeah, I hate to see that one go away. So therefore I'm excited to jump into that one. Anyway, but that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay safe and on to the next one. Peace.